What's going on, it's your boy Mastermind Harv, and in today's video we're going to be installing the version 3.0 vushi plate onto the E46. Let's get into it. So let's take a look and see what we get in the package. I love this right here. Don't run, vanish. We do have the logo on top. Comes in this really nice 30 box, and these are some of the things that are inside the packaging here. So let's pull this on out and we'll see what we get. This is actually going to be the plate itself, so be a little careful with taking that out. Okay, so as you can see, that's the plate right there. Okay, so this would be the mount that you actually will mount to the back where your license plate goes. The license plate would go inside of this along with the plate. He also does sell a magnetic version as well, so you can get that one, upgrade to get the magnetic version if you want to buy that separately. The last thing, this is going to be the wiring inside of this bag right here. So we'll pull all this out. Okay, so this is the remote, the transmitter. Transmitter we're going to be using. This is going to be the receiver. This is upgraded. So the part that's upgraded is this piece. The version I have only had the two red lines. And then the newer version he just did has a different power input. So that's different. This is going to be the power side. This is the side you're going to connect to your battery. So he has a battery version, battery terminal version, and he has a cigarette lighter version. Me personally, I think if you want the cleanest look, you want to go with the battery terminal version versus the cigarette lighter one. Once again, just because this will look so much cleaner with the way we're going to hide this. And then the other cable is going to be the one that goes to the actual plate itself. One end goes into the plate, and then the other end is going to go into the receiver. First thing you want to do is you want to open up your trunk. If you have an E46 and most BMWs, your battery is going to be on the right-hand side. All right, so once you pull up this carpet, this is where your spare tire would go. Here's your jack if you have a spare tire. Of course, mine is in the house. And once again, this is where we're going to be working with inside the car here. So this is your battery tray. Normally, there's two screws in right here. I don't have those in mine. So we're just going to pull this on up and out. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is, once again, we're going to disconnect the positive side here from the battery. We're going to disconnect the battery terminal, the positive side. And as you can see, we have one of the terminals coming out here. And then we have the negative side right there. So you have to get back behind here. Actually, we get yourself a 10mm socket. There's 10mm nuts right here. Just going to back these off. A light battery. It's a pretty heavy battery. So just be careful as you're doing this. I'm going to take the terminal off here. And then once again, we're also going to pull out the whole positive terminal as well, just because, like I said, we're dealing with electronics. You just want to just be on the safe side and just take that off. We're going to do the same exact thing to the negative side, and then we're going to remove the wire. The power side, and this is the output side that goes to the signal, sends the signal to the plate to turn on and turn off. All right, so we got the old power side out. Had it tucked away right back behind here. There's a brace. You're going to wrap it up, put a zip tie, we're going to just tuck it in behind there once we get the new one in. And then that'll be the next step. So I'll show you guys how long the wire is. I think it's roughly about 6 feet of wire. So if your battery's in the front of your car, you have plenty enough length to wire it from the front to get it all the way to the back of your car where your plate would be. You see we have the negative side plugged in right here. The positive side is still not plugged in. I'm gonna do that last. And we have the new wire. Pretty much I did as I did before. I just rounded up and tucked it right there. Just tucked it right behind here. There's a brace. You could tuck the wire right there. And we have the new input side hanging at the bottom. And the reason why I do it like this is so the receiver can still kind of dangle at the bottom right here. So if I want to disconnect it on the fly, I can disconnect it from right here. If you want a more stealth setup, you can put it behind the liner. It's up to you. The signal can still be received from the front, as we will demonstrate at the end. But this is the way I've personally did it before, because I like to be able to kind of access it. And here's the old receiver versus the new one. As you can see, they're pretty much the same exact switch. The only difference is that you have a new inside, and they do say in and out. Because you guys can see this here. As you can see, it says in and out, so you can't mess this up, folks. So once again, this is going to be your new inside, and now you have two outs versus one in and one out. So guys, you can't mess this up. You can put it into either one of these two prongs here for the out, And of course, there's only one inside, is what she made look different. I do like how sturdy this connection is. It snaps right into place, so you don't have to worry about that backing itself back out. So we got that in there now. So before we remove the trunk liner, you want to get yourself a good pair of wire snippers. I found that this tool works the best with getting behind these pull tabs. You can also get a pull tab removal tool, but once again, folks, get your pair of good old-fashioned wire snippers, and you're going to wedge it behind like this, and just wiggle it left or right while applying force. You're basically doing this at the same time, and it will come out. You're going to fish the wire back down to this corner. Now, if you want to save yourself the headache and not take all of this out, just take out the 4 at the top. This is the expressway. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these 2, and you just need this much room. All you really need to take out if you want to have a quicker way and not having to fight and putting this thing back together again. So in addition to the trunk liner, you're also going to take out this latch, and there's 4 T25s. You got 1 right here, there's 2, 3, and 4. Once you take that out, this whole unit will come out, and that'll give us full access to what we need to do for the wiring installation. After testing everything, I realized the old mid-wire doesn't work with the version 3.0. So I will be installing the new mid-wire that comes included in the kit. There's a hole on the back side right here where my finger is. There's a hole, so what we're going to do, we're going to fish this wire. You're going to push it through here, see my finger? You're going to push it through this hole right out to the bigger one. So I got the wire out right here. Let's have a good amount of length. That's about 5 inches for now. So I'll kind of hold with the trim. And then we're going to run this wire to this corner, as I mentioned before. So I've already pulled out this rubber piece. You can just tug on it and pull. Mine does pull easier because I have a slit. So like I said, I recommend you do the same thing. You put a slit into this so the wire can sit there. I put a small slit into the other side. I'm going to tuck that into there. I've even tried cutting a hole on the side to fish the wire through. So whatever you guys got to do to get it to work. Like I said, it is a double seal, so you just want to make sure this seals back up really good. You don't want any water to getting into your car from this side and also on the other side. So here we go, better view here. So you want to make sure it sits all the way in, tucked in flush. I want to show you guys how to put this part back. Like I said, this part could be a pain in the ass to get back on. But basically what you're going to do, you're going to fish it around like this. Right behind, you want this wire to be in front. You want the trunk pull wire to be in front of it. There's a little lip at the top. That lip is going to go into the frame. And basically push up and lock the tab in. Okay? So all I did was just, I kind of pulled this towards me as I was pushing up to get that to snap back into place. And that's exactly how you want it to look. So once you've decided where you're going to put your wire, if you're going to keep it, the bulk of it up here, or if you're going to keep the bulk of it down to this cut, once again, that's up to you. You're then going to take whatever's left, fish it through this hole right here, this slit right here, and then you'll see the wire actually coming out right down here a little bit. Pinch it, and then grab it. So we're going to pull the wire through. You can pull all of it through, and once again, pull as much as you need. We're going to pull all that through, and then we're going to wrap it right back into here and out the bottom side. So here I attach a zip tie to the end of it. Once again, a pretty decent sized zip tie, so we can fish it through this hole a lot easier. It's a super tight fit. So the neater you can get the zip tie to work, if you want to tape it around, that might get a little bit closer, but you want it to be pretty snug and slim so you can get through past these two water seal areas with this rubber gasket right here. This part's more of a feel thing. I can't really show this, but once you pull down on this, you actually feel the zip tie coming out right at the top. And as you feel it, you just pull it through. And here's your wire. You pull your wire all the way through, and then like I said, you can wrap it up, tuck it back there like the other one. All right, so you want to get your mount on. Before you get the second screw on, though, we're gonna connect the plate into the mount. It will be the shiny side out. So to determine the shiny side, look at the way the wire lays down. Okay, this is the part that's gonna go against the body of the inside the plate. So the opposite side of this is the shiny side. As you can see the reflection there. As you can see on the inside, you don't really see a reflection, it's more of a matte sheen. All right, so you want to use some gloves while you're doing this. You don't want to get any fingerprints on the back. If you do, you can of course wipe it off. So he does include in the kit some hardware. These are an Allen head, as you can see here, an Allen head style nut. There's 2 length sizes in the bag. For the E46 users, you want to use the shortest of the 2. For any other car application, of course, it can vary. Just take a look at your car's manual or see what kind of hardware you have in the car now currently to see which one will work the best. Also, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there is a magnetic style version. If you don't want to deal with the screws at all, get the magnetic version. You pop it on or pop it off. The other thing I like with his included mount is that he does have various holes to fit different size applications. For the BMW E46, you're gonna go down 1, 2, 3, 4 rows over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. These are the holes you're gonna use to mount the plate bracket to the BMW's current setup. Let the plate sit on it like this. The wire's gonna lay over the back, and then that hole is where the wire's gonna go through. So you're gonna fish this wire through that central hole and then sandwich it all together. For illustration purposes, because this is a fake plate, I'm not gonna push this down. This plate's not perfect. You want a plate that sits really level. Like I see this plate got lumps in it. That's why this doesn't want to go down flat. So if you have a plate that's not straight, this is gonna be hard to do. Because this obviously is glass, this is not gonna flex. So you wanna have a plate that's pretty damn flat for this to work the best. This is a little tip. Now you see me, now you don't. And I like about this how to activate the symbols to turn it on. It stays off, right? So the plate stays on, blacked out. And if you hit off, then it's off. You can also set the toggle. You can program the controller to toggles. If you hold, it will be a blue light. And if you release it, the plate will actually go back out. And then off is orange, or red in this case. So once again, blue is on, red is off. And that's that. All right, so now we have the plate installed. It's wired up, it's connected perfectly. Like I said before, if your plate is a level plate, you can see my plate right underneath it. If it's leveled, this will snap down really well. So once you get it in, you want to slide the top plate basically at this angle. So you want to slide it into the top and then work your way to the front. So this way, and then you kind of want to work to the left corner, the lower left, and then the lower right, and then this side you just tuck out, you're gonna get it in. So that's the easy way I found to put it on without having any issues. All right, so closing thoughts. One of the things I do like about this plate is that when it's blacked out, it doesn't look super crazy, all right? It looks like a license plate cover. You know, the screen isn't super shiny, is what I like. This is, once again, the version 3.0. It changes super quick, as you guys saw from the test footage. That was real time. Changed within less than a second. So super quick. If you know where those devices are, you can protect yourself as well. Also, folks, please be aware of imitations. Folks like to try to cut corners and save money. The imitation ones, the certain people like to pull you over, like to wear glasses, shades in particular. The screen will look like this with shades on. So you want to make sure you pay the money. You're going to get a phenomenal product. The customer service is exceptional. I've had an issue with the previous version, or the first version. Got replacement parts immediately, no questions asked. Really great communication. It's a small business. I like supporting small businesses. You guys know, from if you follow me on social media, you know I love supporting small businesses. So like I said, link would be in the description below. Go ahead and check it on out. All right, so I hope you guys got some value from the video. As you can see, it's a pretty straightforward installation. Pretty much the basic tools. I would say a trim remover tool, maybe a wire hanger, some zip ties, some really long ones, in particular, 10mm socket, depending upon what's maybe an 8, depending upon the size of your battery terminal screws. You may have to install it in the front. If your battery's located in the front, well, you got a little bit more work you have to do as far as tucking those wire in and creating a clean installation. You know, the purpose of this is to make it look OEM. You don't want to show that it's been modified in any way in particular. As you can see, you can either have the receiver on the outside of the car, like I had mine, on the outside of the trunk, or you can tuck it behind the trim pieces if you want to make it super clean. But like I said, pretty straightforward installation. The link will be down in the video below. Please like, share the video. As I always say, guys, you have one life to live. What are you going to do with it? Bye-bye for now.